Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. Liftoff.
What is up, guys? Hunter Klein here, bringing you this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. Another journey through the mind of a young man on a dream, I guess. I guess that's what we're doing. I guess if we had to sum up our storytelling and this platform as a whole, I guess that's really the value we bring. Still rocking beanies, guys. I'm exploring the process of growing out my hair. This has been a journey that I have battled with for a couple years now. I've been told on countless occasions, by feedback from hairstylists, people that I assume are experts in the field of hair, that I have nice hair. And then I have blonde hair. It's very sought after. And it would be a damn shame if I got to the end of my life without growing out my hair and having, locks. The problem with this process every single time is the awkward stages and my inability to deal with the massive responsibility that comes with longer and longer hair. But this might be the time we actually pull it off. This might be the time we go for it, because I do like the beanie look. I have like hundreds. No, I don't have hundreds, but I have almost a beanie for every damn color. And we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm going to go for this. Right now, it's more or less an excuse to not go get a haircut. But we might go for it. We will absolutely see. I hope everyone is doing well. Christmas is coming up. I'm getting ready to go venture back out into the Arctic, aka Nebraska, to see family, and I couldn't be more excited. Things are crazy right now, business-wise, life-wise. Things are good. Things are up. We'll talk about that a little more at the end of the pod, about what's going on with the project and all of that fun stuff. But we have to talk about the tornado that went through the Midwest, specifically Kentucky, and took a bunch of lives. Thoughts go out to those families. It is rough. Okay. But here's the deal. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. And as much as we'd like to think that it's controlled, it's constrained. We can believe in certain things that give us hope, that allow us to latch on to faith and the idea that we are safe. We're not. Okay. And nothing reminds you of how unsafe, nothing reminds you of how red tooth and claw Earth is more than a giant twisting tornado of doom going through your homeland, your city, and you have absolutely no control over it whatsoever. This RNG, random number generation game that we play on planet Earth here in this very expansive universe picked you today, picked your town, and it's going to suck you up into the atmosphere. It's insane. It's insane. And I don't mean to poke fun. I don't mean to dehumanize the process or be insensitive. But what can you do? Really, what can you do? It's sad to see. It's very sad to see. It's scary as hell. When I was young, I used to have nightmares that a tornado hit my trailer park. I grew up in a trailer park. That I'd be running down the road of my trailer park as a gigantic tornado chased me. It was a reoccurring dream as well. One of my few reoccurring dreams I had as a child. And very interesting one. Tornadoes they're beautiful but scary fucking things. They're scary fucking things. Now, I saw an article titled "Biden Uses Kentucky Tornado to Push Climate Change Agenda." And I was genuinely curious, because people do this all the time. Oh, a tornado hit, boom, climate change. Everyone clean up your act. Oh, hurricane hit, boom, it's climate change. Clean up your act. Now, climate change is very real. But this gets a little muddy when we talk about individual weather events and relate them to climate. But surprisingly enough, Biden, when he answered the question from the press about the storm and its link to climate change, he did very well. He talked in the same vein I am now. And the proper way to think about this is it's weather versus climate. It's almost impossible to say that isolated weather events are a result of long-term climate patterns just because they're so disconnected from one another. I can't think of a good analogy off the top of my head. Now, let's say two things are linked. Let's say that cheese consumption in a state is actually leading to deaths. Maybe. Is this going to work? I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole right now that I'm not going to be able to get out of. Let's say, no, we're going to ditch it. I'm sorry. I'm backing out. I'm not going any further. The thing here is that the short-term weather patterns, there's so much variance in the weather, right? It could almost certainly be related to climate change. Climate change could have an influence on the strength of a hurricane because water temperatures are rising. Thus, the hurricane, the storm, has more energy to pull from the water, thus increasing wind speeds and damage to the coast. Okay? But it's just too floaty. There's not enough information. There's not enough data to really back up the fact that, boom, this hurricane right here is a result of climate change. This tornado right here wouldn't have happened if we weren't, increasing the temperature of our climate. This tornado wouldn't have been as strong. See, these things are very floaty and almost impossible to prove. And it's not very smart for climate change advocates to use them as an argument, because these deniers, these flat earthers, are just going to be able to discredit and walk home with their head high, feeling as if climate change isn't real. Okay, so it's just better to not connect short-term weather with long-term climate, regardless of whether or not there's an actual correlation there or there is a direct influence. And again, I got baited by this news article because Joe Biden absolutely did not do this. He handled it well, and I was genuinely surprised. And he went along this same train of thought, saying, I don't have the data to conclusively say that this tornado was a result of increase or climate change and in human effects on the climate. So good for him. Good for him. There's actually so much news around this specific storm. Another part of this are people are slamming Jeff Bezos for not being sympathetic enough for the Amazon workers that were lost in the storm. So from what I read, apparently there was an Amazon warehouse. I believe they lost around 6 workers from the tornado. And apparently Jeff Bezos' response was not sympathetic enough. Was not down to earth enough. Didn't make people feel safe. Didn't make people feel like he really cared. And here's the honest truth, guys. I don't think at the end of the day Jeff Bezos really cares. Jeff Bezos sees numbers, not people. And it's not because he's an evil overlord businessman. It's because his life is so large scale, guys. Okay, I'm not here to talk on Jeff Bezos' character. He may be a good guy. He may be an evil demonic guy. And I hear a lot of people talk shit on him, and it's hard to decipher whether or not it's true because people just hate wealthy people. Jeff Bezos is one of the wealthiest people on the planet. It's very easy to hate him. So is he a good guy? I have no idea, and I'm not going to make judgments. But at the end of the day, Jeff Bezos sees numbers, not people. And you would think the exact same way if you were in his positions. Okay, he has thousands and thousands of employees. Every aspect of his business, every individual in his company, the thousands and thousands of them, are constantly boiled down to margins on a spreadsheet, to numbers on a digital page. Okay? You get detached. He lost 6 workers. He has 10,000. It's unfortunate. But I'm almost certain that he was with his PR team like, oh, all right, how can we, how do I not fuck this up? And I know this sounds evil, but I truly believe that this is what he's going through. Yeah, maybe for like 30 minutes he was like, oh shit, we lost some lives. But he's got 17 more business meetings a day. He's got to grow the company another $50 billion in the next 20 days, okay? Again, I don't mean to be unsensitive to the event that happened, but Apparently Jeff Bezos' sympathetic remarks weren't enough for people, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But that event is a damn shame, and I'm hoping the best for everyone out there in Kentucky. Things are rough. Earth is unforgiving. Life is not fair. What can you do? You can do your best. That's what you can do. You can do your best and hope you don't get a bad RNG. You don't get a bad roll of the dice that takes you out of the game early. All right. I did see that Nebraska voted for 100% clean energy by 2050. Good for you guys. Claps out to my Cornhuskers there in the Midwest and Nebraska. Now, how the hell did this happen? I have no clue. Apparently, Nebraska is the first red state, the first mainly Republican state to vote for a clean energy bill. By 2050, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Good for you guys. Again, I'm proud. I'm proud of what we got going on there. I have no fucking idea how this went through. Based on some of the people I grew up around and talked to, the large majority of people I talked to, no idea how this got passed. But hey, what can you do? Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Good job up there. This week, guys, there's a lot of entertainment, a lot of shows that I enjoyed. First being the free Larry Hoover concert hosted by Kanye West featuring Drake. And it was actually so awesome. First off, concerts are an interesting thing, right? More often than not, the singer that you know, has that beautiful voice on that song you love, gets on that stage, starts running around, and he starts singing like shit. Let's be completely honest. And no shame to them. They're tired as hell. They're running around, jumping around. They're out of breath. They can only sing half the words in the song. And especially in the hip-hop genre, it just doesn't come out that good. But there's something about actually being at the concert that makes that okay. Right? The hype, the energy. You sacrifice some of the, vocal qualities for the energy that, the person is giving off. Even with that being said, I thought Kanye West did a fantastic job. He played a bunch of his old hits. It was awesome to watch. I missed the Drake part. I'm not too interested. I might go back and watch a little bit, see what songs he played. But overall, it was awesome. Now, apparently the concert was for Larry Hoover, who's facing charges from the federal government, but I'm not too familiar with the process. I didn't get too involved, and I didn't do too much research afterwards. But the concert was awesome. It was a cool venue. It was good energy. It seemed exciting. It didn't seem half-assed, and there was just good music. And on top of that, all they had a free live stream that had extremely good production quality. So I got to watch the concert from the safety of my apartment, which I love. I enjoyed the hell out of that. I'm just not a big fan of concerts. We talked about it a little bit during the Travis Scott drama, but it's a little bit too much, guys. There's a little bit too much craziness. You got people that are a little too risky. It's a little too crowded. People kind of neglect health, safety. And it just gets a little bit too much. I'm not a big fan. I'd much rather just go to a bar, a chill place, sit on a bench, and watch the concert on TV with a couple drinks. That's just the kind of guy I am. Now, along with the concert, we had the Game Awards this week. Okay? And I think we got to talk about this because I think something interesting is happening in the video game space. First off, why does the word video game have such a negative connotation to it? Why, when I say video game, do a majority of people just like cringe? Like, oh my God, video games? It's like the equivalent of the 2010, early 2000s pothead term or weed term. Yeah, he smokes weed. It's the exact same thing. It feels like it's the exact same thing. That negative connotation, you initially just get this image of like an out of shape, no life at his computer. I don't like the word video games for that reason. But the Game Awards, let's get back on topic. The Game Awards, essentially a culmination of the best video games of the year, upcoming video games, world premieres, what to be excited about. And I've been watching these Game Awards for a couple years now, maybe like 3, 4. And this year, it has gone so mainstream. It is such an incredible jump from last year. When I say mainstream, I mean A-list actors that are not only at the show, but handing out awards, giving talks, getting involved with video games, celebrities showing up. It's actually crazy. Along with the attendees, it just seems so more mainstream. So many more, mainstream humans showing up to these. But there were also world premiere movie trailers. Like you had Keanu Reeves and that chick that he does the movies with doing a world premiere of Matrix Revolutions. I think it's Revolutions, or it might be I'm not sure. The new Matrix movie. Like there were multiple movie trailers from huge actors. It was just crazy. And I truly believe that the biggest reasons that video games are starting to get more mainstream, these game awards are starting to get more mainstream, is that like people are starting to see, especially, let's get the metaverse movement, for example. This hype around the advancement of interactive digital entertainment or video games has everyone wanting to get involved. It's pretty crazy. And I think video games are slowly going to start getting more mainstream as we have, VR, as we have actors getting involved in this space, getting involved in video games, actually playing characters in video games. I think we're slowly going to see things get a little more mainstream. And it's going to be an interesting time. And I think the Game Awards this year were really a pillar of that. Really showed that. But yeah, I don't like the term video games. I don't. It sucks to say. I largely prefer, let's just say, I don't play video games. I play interactive digital entertainment. Okay? That's really what I do. I problem solve in digital spaces. That's a good way to say I waste time playing video games. See, I shouldn't even say that term right there. The idea of wasting time. We all waste time. The key is to waste time on things you enjoy in a controlled and sectioned manner to which it benefits your health. Okay? That's the best way to put it. We all waste time. The method by which you waste your time and how much that wasting of time actually impacts the rest of your life is really the key here. Yeah, I play video games. But I also work fucking 16 hours a day, 12 hours a day at work. I wouldn't consider it work, but others would. And it's a mental break. Okay? So it's just, let people choose how to use their free time. We all need a little entertainment. We all need to take our minds off of the trials and tribulations of life. Okay? Now, in the news recently, over the past couple of years, I'd even say, a lot of celebrities are getting online college degrees. First off, good for them. I'm a man of education. I champion education. I think it's one of the greatest things ever. Learning new things, creating new ideas, thought processes. That aha moment that you get when you're learning something and the dots connect. I think it's the greatest feeling on the earth. I really do. But please, let me see what the workload of one of these courses is. One of these online college courses that Meg Thee Stallion is getting her college degree in, because I am very curious how legit it is. I am very curious what is required of these people in these classes. Now, again, I don't mean to, assume anything or discredit their achievement. But I'm genuinely interested in how difficult these courses are, because it seems like, it's very possible that these could just be flying off the shelves, okay? It is very possible. And as for me, guys, what's going on? I don't know. We know how much the project costs now. So essentially all I have to do is take what I believe is one of the greatest business proposal documents ever created and put it in front of people that have money and would potentially believe in me. It is scary as shit. It is. When it really comes down to it, I believe in the project and I'm excited to stand in front of people. And when I sit down with my PowerPoint slide or my document and talk to these individuals about the project, passion oozes out of me because I don't feel as if I'm selling someone on a project. I feel as if I'm letting someone in on a secret. The problem is finding out who to talk to and maintaining that belief, because doubt does sneak in every now and then. Can I do this? Is this going to work? This is a lot of money. What if it fails? What if it fails? Uh-oh, that would suck. That would suck, and I talked about last week, these moments of doubt are generally crushed by confidence in the project and belief, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't continually happen. This doubtful little monkey, the biggest enemy in my life right now, my biggest challenge is self-doubt. Is this guy in the back of my head saying, I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, you have all the data, but this is a lot of money, a lot of responsibility. And that's really the main theme of my life right now. This battle between confidence and hanging on to this and truly believing in it. And then this guy on my other shoulder saying, it's too much money. You can't handle this. Now, again, I'm going forward with the project and we are going to pull this off. But it's not an easy process. As much as I love working on the project, I will go to sleep excited to wake up in the morning to work more on this project, to develop the product more. Despite all that passion, there are still moments of doubt. It can become very difficult to push through. So we're just continually working on this. A lot of internal dialogue, a lot of battling back and forth with myself, trying to shut this little, weenie up. But we'll see. We're going back to Nebraska. Obviously, we grew up in Nebraska. We have a lot of connections in Nebraska, and that's where we're going to, give our first pitches, our first marketing efforts. See what we can do, see what we can pull off, and see who wants to get involved in the project. And hopefully, by the latest, I would like to get this project started by mid-2022. But if all goes as planned, we're probably seeing the project start around February or March, I'd assume. I believe in it. I truly do, guys. We will see what happens. Other than that, we're just trying to meet people, level up our social life, explore a little bit. At the end of the day, working is my favorite thing to do right now. We're going to stay on it. Relationships, I'd be a shitty friend. I'd be a shitty boyfriend. But we explore. The only thing I really care about is work right now and getting this project to fruition, and everything else is kind of everything else is somewhat of an accessory. We got to change our life, friends. We got to get ourselves to a place where we are happy before we can start making other people happy. You know what I mean? Hopefully you do. All right, guys, we're going to end it a little early this week. It's been a good episode, and I don't want to really lengthen this on with a bunch of BS. And a little filler content. It's been packed. And I really like this. All right. I hope everyone is doing well. You know the deal. If you're on a high, enjoy it. If you're on a low, battle through. Peaks and valleys, friends. Peaks and valleys, the human experience. Shine on, family. This is Hunter Klein, and that's it for this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. You'll hear from me next week. Peace.